Pretty blowout report across the board last night. Very strong growth, very strong forecast. And the company also announced some job cuts as it is focusing even more on artificial intelligence. So it really seems like there is a growing consensus that Cisco is now a real part of the AI infrastructure trade. It's a real part of that firmament, and it does seem like people are really glomming onto the idea that this is going to be a company that's going to be showing very strong demand trends really for a while.
I have to say, I feel like there's a trend happening of layoffs being announced very close to really high earnings. What is going on here? Is this part of a growth plan? Are we back to the days of Jack Welch, or what do you think?
It does seem like this is really part of their prioritizing AI right now. They are making a lot of investments into this. It doesn't really seem like they're talking about AI is replacing these workers or anything like that. It doesn't seem like that's really the focus here. It does seem like more they are seeing so much demand from hyperscaler customers, from the data center build out. So they are really transitioning as much of the company as they can to focus on the opportunity that they see there.
So is this a story of new products? Are they repositioning existing products to meet, some of this demand that may be coming from the AI build out? How are they achieving this pivot here?
Well, there is a growing appreciation that a lot of Cisco's products, we're talking networking components, optical products, all of these are really a critical part of building out these data centers and having them be optimized for AI-related workloads. We've seen a lot of these kinds of companies really skyrocketing this year, including in the optical space. So companies like Lumentum, Coherent, Corning, the specialized glass company, all of these types of components, which have historically been on maybe the sleepier side of the tech trade, not nearly as exciting as, higher growth areas. All of a sudden, these are all really catching a bid, as it does seem like we're at the stage of the AI build out where these kinds of components are really in demand. It started with processing chips, now it's moving on to networking chips and other kinds of components like that.
Yeah, it does seem like there's a lot of excitement around infrastructure for data centers. Why is there so much excitement over that aspect of it as opposed to kind of AI breakthroughs and innovations?
Well, right now we are really seeing infrastructure being where we are seeing the most clear-cut demand and really the strongest growth. So if you're looking for AI pure plays, right now this is really the best place to look for that kind of thing. All of the hyperscalers, which is companies like Microsoft and Amazon and Alphabet and Meta, when they reported a couple of weeks ago, they all really doubled down on their really aggressive AI-related spending plans. And that is really translating almost directly into revenue at the companies that are involved with building out the data centers. So you have all these huge cloud computing companies and all the equipment that is needed to actually run those. So we've seen it in servers, in chips, in memory, in storage, and in all these different sort of optical and networking components. Very sort of technical and specialized products, but ones that are really becoming more and more critical to this stage of the build out.
So I'm just looking at the historical financials, Ryan, of Cisco. It's been kind of the last 4 or 5 years, kind of a mid-single digit revenue growth story, mid to high single digit revenue growth. I guess the street's kind of re-rating the top line growth outlook for the company. What's the company saying about their revenue outlook?
Well, it does seem like they are very much encouraging the idea that they are going to be a real significant winner within artificial intelligence, that the demand they're seeing isn't just going to be a blip, that as we see the AI infrastructure build out over the coming quarters and maybe even years, that they will continue to benefit. So we are looking at a higher rate of forward growth for them than I think investors have gotten used to in the past. I mean, this has been, even a few years ago, considered a pretty sleepy legacy company, slower growth, lower multiple, pays a dividend, not exciting the way it was in the dot-com era when it was, like you said, the most exciting company out there. It's starting getting some of that momentum again.
Did it pivot at some point? Was it in the right place at the right time, or was there a decision that it made that kind of put it on the path to see this kind of growth?
I think that their long-term focus has been in sort of these networking products and things that were just not quite in focus in the pre-AI era. It does seem like they are just sort of in the right place at the right time, and they are able to pivot to focus on this in a more direct way. But I know they've made some acquisitions with optical companies. They've certainly been making a greater push to focus on AI, and it does seem like that is paying off for them.